A short horror story considered the most terrifying. This story is the most terrifying of all as its end is unclear, but given the introductions of the story and what it says, we can easily predict the tragic end of the story. In a hotel in one of the tourist villages, 4 young men gathered, who shared the same room and the same work, and a strong friendship developed between them to the extent that they did not abandon each other if one of them had a problem at work. The remaining 3 stood in solidarity with him. One night there was a party in the hotel and they were very tired from the unusually large number of work in this whole day, and when they all returned and while preparing for bed after each of them finished what they were doing before bed, Mustafa asked, "A guest at the hotel spoke to me today and asked me about the desert house, and when I answered him that I did not know anything about him, I drew on his face all the exclamation and question marks that exist in this life, and he answered me saying, 'How do you work here and do not know anything about the house?' Sarawi, does anyone know anything about him?" Both Muhammad and Khalid replied that they are like him and do not know anything about him. As for the prince, he was silent and did not issue any reaction, which made Mustafa approach him and ask him if he knows him or not. The prince replied, "You know I work here before all of you, and I've certainly heard of it before, but what's the point of mentioning it in the first place?" Mustafa said, "So, since you have heard about it before, quench my thirst and tell me what I could not ask the inmate about. What is the story of this desert house?" The prince said, "And you didn't want to know that, and what is the point of that in the first place?" Mustafa said, "If you don't tell me everything, I went to the guest in the morning and asked him about everything I wanted to know,